My chosen one, something is not as it seems, and deep within your spirit, you have already felt it. The strange pauses, the unexpected delays, the emotions that rose without warning. None of it was random. You were not imagining it. There hath been a shift, quiet, powerful, and deliberate. And on August 5th, the shift reaches a point that cannot be ignored any longer. This is not just another day. This is a moment marked, watched, and sealed with purpose. Listen carefully, because what you are about to understand may change how you see everything that has happened recently. The confusion you faced, the doors that refused to open, the plans that suddenly fell apart. These were not setbacks. They were interruptions by design. And now, Archangel Michael steps forward with a message that was held back until the exact second your soul was ready to receive it. You may have asked yourself, why now? Why did things stop working when they seemed so close to success? That question did not go unheard. In fact, it triggered something far greater than you realize. Because when you questioned the timing, heaven responded by adjusting it. Yes, timing itself has been moved, shifted, and aligned specifically around you. And that is why everything feels different. There is something you must understand in this very moment. You were never behind. You were being repositioned. While you were waiting, something unseen was moving into place. Archangel Michael has been standing guard, ensuring that what is meant for you arrives at the exact right moment. Not a second too early, not a second too late. And now, that moment is approaching faster than you think. But here is the part that may surprise you the most. Not everyone was meant to notice this shift. Not everyone was meant to stay until this message found them. The fact that you are here, hearing these words right now, is not coincidence. It is confirmation. You were guided here because something within you is ready to awaken to a deeper truth. There is a hidden layer to everything you've experienced recently. Conversations that felt incomplete. Opportunities that disappeared without explanation. Even the people around you acting differently. It was all part of a larger alignment. And on August 5th, a signal is released. A signal that reveals what was hidden and activates what was delayed. Do not rush away from this moment. Stay with this message, because clarity is not something that comes all at once. It settles in layers. And as you continue to listen, those layers will begin to unfold, one by one, until everything starts to make sense in a way it never has before. Archangel Michael is not just observing anymore. He is intervening. And what happens next will confirm that divine timing is not just real. It is precise, intentional, and now fully in motion around your life. There is a reason why everything began to slow down when you expected it to accelerate. You felt it, didn't you? Just when things seemed to align, something shifted. Messages went unanswered, plans lost momentum, and doors that once felt certain suddenly closed without explanation. It left you questioning everything, your decisions, your direction, even your faith in the path ahead. But what you could not see in that moment was the silent intervention that had already begun. The truth is, the delay was never meant to deny you. It was meant to protect you. There was a hidden clock, one that does not follow human schedules, one that answers only to divine precision, and that clock was reset specifically for you. What you perceived as a setback was actually a recalibration. The timing of events had to be adjusted because something ahead of you was not yet ready, or perhaps something behind you needed to be removed before you could safely move forward. Archangel Michael has been deeply involved in this process, working in ways that do not always reveal themselves immediately. While you were experiencing frustration, there were unseen forces being redirected. Certain paths were being closed not because you were unworthy, but because they carried outcomes that would have taken you away from your true alignment. You were being guided away from something that looked right on the surface but was not meant for your destiny. Think back to the moments that confuse you the most, the opportunities that slipped through your hands, the connections that faded unexpectedly. At the time, it may have felt like loss, but now, you are being asked to look at it differently. What if those moments were actually acts of protection? What if every delay was a shield placed in front of you, preventing you from stepping into something that would have cost you more than you were prepared to lose? There was also another layer to this delay, one that involved preparation within you. Timing is not only about external events, it is also about internal readiness. There were parts of you that needed strengthening, clarity that needed to deepen, and awareness that needed to awaken. If everything had moved forward when you originally expected, you might not have been in the position to fully receive what is now being prepared for you. This is where the role of Archangel Michael becomes even more profound. He is not only a protector, but also a strategist. He sees the paths ahead, the intersections of choices and consequences, and he intervenes when necessary to ensure that you are not only safe but aligned. The delays you experienced were not random interruptions. They were precise adjustments made with purpose and intention. And now, as August 5th approaches, the hidden clock that was once reset is beginning to move again. But this time, it is moving in your favor. The stillness you felt is giving way to motion. The silence is beginning to carry meaning. What once felt like emptiness is now becoming space for something new, something aligned, something that was always meant for you but required the right moment to arrive. You may begin to notice subtle changes, a shift in energy, a sense that things are starting to come together in ways you cannot fully explain yet. This is not your imagination. This is the result of the timing being restored after careful adjustment. The delays are not just ending, they are transforming into momentum. But there is one more truth you must hold on to as you move forward. Not everything that was delayed will return. Some things were removed permanently because they were never part of your true path. And while that realization may carry a sense of loss, it also carries a deeper sense of freedom. Because what is coming next is not a repetition of what was. It is something entirely new, built on alignment rather than assumption. Stay present. Stay aware. Because what you are about to understand next will reveal that the shift has already begun, even if you did not recognize it at the time. Beloved soul, there was a moment, quiet, almost invisible, that shifted everything in your life, and you did not even realize it when it happened. It did not come with a loud announcement. There were no dramatic signs in the sky. Instead, it arrived subtly, disguised as an ordinary day, an ordinary conversation, or even a passing thought that you quickly dismissed. But in that exact moment, something irreversible took place. A decision was made in the spiritual realm concerning your path, and from that point forward, everything began to change direction. You may have overlooked it because it did not match your expectations of what a breakthrough should feel like. You were waiting for something obvious, something undeniable. But divine intervention does not always arrive in ways that are easy to recognize. Sometimes, it comes as a redirection you did not ask for. Sometimes it comes as a silence where you expected noise. And sometimes, it comes as a sudden ending that makes no sense until much later. That moment, yes, that one you are now beginning to recall, was not random. It was orchestrated. Archangel Michael stepped in at that exact point to alter the course of what was unfolding. There was something ahead that you were about to step into, something that looked promising but carried consequences that would have drained your energy, your peace, and your purpose. And just before you reached it, the path shifted. You may have called it bad timing, but in truth, it was perfect timing. Think carefully. Was there a plan that suddenly fell apart? A person who distanced themselves without explanation? An opportunity that vanished just when it seemed secure? That was the moment. That was the exact point where everything changed. And while you may have felt confusion, disappointment, or even frustration, what you did not see was a protection that had just been activated around you. Archangel Michael does not always reveal his actions immediately. His work is often hidden, precise, and deeply strategic. In that moment, he was not just protecting you, he was repositioning you. He was aligning you with a path that you could not yet see, but one that would lead you closer to what is truly meant for you. And because this shift happened quietly, you continued forward without fully understanding that you were now on a completely different trajectory. This is why things began to feel different afterward. The energy changed. Your perspective started to shift. Even the way certain situations affected you was no longer the same. That is because the version of your path that once existed was no longer active. You had been moved, gently, but firmly, onto a new alignment. Now, as August 5th approaches, the significance of that moment is about to become clear. What was hidden will begin to reveal itself. What once felt confusing will start to make sense. And you will see, with undeniable clarity, that nothing was lost. It was redirected. It was protected. It was transformed. But here is something even deeper that you must understand. That moment was also a test of trust. It asked you, without words, whether you would continue forward even without understanding. Whether you would hold on to faith even when the path did not make sense. And by staying, by continuing, by not giving up, you passed the test. You are now standing on the edge of a realization that will change how you see everything. The pieces are coming together. The answers are forming. And the truth is beginning to rise within you. I trust divine timing in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 531 has just been released. And as this realization settles into your heart, understand this. When you choose to act in alignment with this message, you are not just receiving. You are participating in something greater. Every soul that awakens to divine timing becomes a light for others who are still lost in confusion. The scripture says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise speaking directly into this moment. If you feel this message stirring something deep within you, this is your moment to respond. Through your super thanks or your PayPal offering, found in the video description, and even through the QR code placed before you, you are sowing into a mission that carries truth to those who are still searching. Say it within yourself now. I am called to support what is guiding souls to clarity. And as you give, know this. Your seed becomes light, your offering becomes a pathway, and your obedience unlocks blessings that go beyond what you can see. Act now, and step into the flow that has already been prepared for you. There is something you must now begin to see clearly, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Not everyone around you is moving in the same timing that you are. This is not about judgment, and it is not about blame. It is about awareness. Because as your path has been adjusted, as your timing has been realigned by divine hands, it has created a separation, not always visible, but deeply real, between you and certain people in your life. You may have already felt this shift without fully understanding it. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced or incomplete. People who once understood you suddenly seem distant, distracted, or even disconnected from your energy. At times, you may have questioned yourself, wondering if you changed too much or if you were somehow at fault. But what is actually happening goes far deeper than personal differences. When your timing changes, your alignment changes. And when your alignment changes, the connections around you are either strengthened or gently pulled away. This is part of the divine order. Archangel Michael is not only working on your path, he is also influencing the environment around you to ensure that it matches the direction you are now moving in. That means some people will naturally fall out of sync with you, not because they are bad or harmful, but because they are no longer aligned with where you are going. There are also moments when certain individuals, even unknowingly, can disrupt the flow that has been carefully prepared for you. Their words may bring doubt. Their presence may create confusion. Their energy may pull you back into patterns that you have already outgrown. This is not always intentional. In fact, many times it happens without them even realizing it. But the effect is still real, and it is something you must become aware of. Archangel Michael is guiding you now toward discernment, not fear, not isolation, but clarity. You are being shown how to recognize what feels aligned and what does not. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with others. Do you feel uplifted, clear, and steady? Or do you feel drained, uncertain, and pulled away from your sense of direction? These feelings are not random. They are signals. There is also a deeper truth here that you must accept. Some people were only meant to walk with you for a certain part of your journey. Their role was temporary, even if it felt permanent at the time. And as your path evolves, their presence may no longer fit into the next chapter that is unfolding for you. Letting go of that realization is not easy. It may bring moments of sadness, confusion, or even resistance. But it also brings freedom. The freedom to move forward without being held back by what no longer aligns. At the same time, new alignments are quietly forming around you. People who resonate with your current timing, your current energy, and your current direction are beginning to enter your life, even if you have not fully recognized them yet. These connections will feel different. They will not require force or effort. They will feel natural, supportive, and in sync with the path you are now walking. This is why discernment is so important in this moment. You are not being asked to push people away harshly or to cut ties impulsively. You are being asked to observe, to feel, and to understand. To recognize where your energy is welcomed and where it is not. To notice where your growth is supported and where it is quietly resisted. Archangel Michael stands with you in this process, offering protection not only from external harm but also from misalignment. He is helping you see what you could not see before. He is guiding you toward relationships that reflect your true path and away from those that no longer serve your purpose. As August 5th draws closer, this clarity will deepen. You will begin to see people and situations for what they truly are, without confusion or doubt. And while that clarity may feel intense at first, it is also liberating. Because once you see clearly, you can move forward without hesitation. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Because the alignment that is forming around you is preparing you for what comes next, and it will require you to stand firmly in your truth without being pulled in directions that no longer belong to you. There are moments in time that pass like any other day, unnoticed and unchanged. And then there are moments that carry a weight so profound that they alter the direction of everything that follows. August 5th is not ordinary. It is not just another point on the calendar. It is a window, a rare opening where timing, alignment, and divine intention converge in a way that does not happen often. You may have sensed that something has been building toward this state, even if you could not explain it. A quiet anticipation, a feeling that something is about to shift, something that will finally bring clarity to what has felt uncertain. That feeling is not imagination. It is awareness. Because this moment has been prepared, not just externally but within you as well. What makes August 5th so significant is not just what will happen on that day, but what have been leading up to it. Every delay, every redirection, every moment of confusion you experienced was part of positioning you for this exact point. It is like a door that can only open when all the pieces are perfectly aligned, and now those pieces are coming into place. Archangel Michael has been working behind the scenes, ensuring that this alignment is precise. His role is not only to protect but to orchestrate timing with exactness. He sees beyond what you can see, understanding how each moment connects to the next. And when a window like this opens, it is not by chance. It is by design. This is why you may feel a heightened sense of awareness as this date approaches. Your thoughts may feel clearer, your intuition stronger, your sensitivity to situations more intense. You may begin to notice patterns, connections, and signs that were not visible before. This is because the spiritual atmosphere is shifting, allowing you to perceive what was once hidden. But here is something important you must understand. A window like this does not stay open forever. It is temporary, precise, and purposeful. It invites you to step into alignment, to recognize what is being revealed, and to respond accordingly. It is not something to be ignored or delayed, because its timing is exact. This does not mean you need to act in haste or fear. It means you need to be present, fully present, aware of what is happening within you and around you. Because what this window offers is clarity, the kind of clarity that dissolves confusion and replaces it with understanding. And once that clarity arrives, your next steps will become undeniable. There is also a deeper layer to this moment that you must not overlook. August 5th is not just about external events. It is about internal awakening. It is about seeing yourself differently, understanding your path in a new way, and recognizing the purpose behind everything you have experienced. It is a moment where the past begins to make sense, not as a series of random events, but as a carefully guided journey. You may also find that decisions you once struggled with now feel easier. Choices that once felt overwhelming begin to carry a sense of certainty. This is the effect of alignment. When your timing matches the divine timing set for you, resistance fades. What once felt difficult becomes natural. What once felt unclear becomes obvious. Archangel Michael is guiding you to remain steady during this time. Do not let distractions pull you away from this moment. Do not allow doubt to cloud what is being revealed. Trust what you feel. Trust what you see. Trust the quiet knowing that is beginning to rise within you. Because what is about to unfold is not random. It is the result of everything being brought into alignment at the exact right time. And this window, this rare, powerful moment, is your opportunity to step forward with clarity, with confidence, and with a deeper understanding of the path that has always been meant for you. Stay with this awareness, because what comes next will reveal even more about the shift that is already beginning to take place around you. There are things that did not happen in your life that should have happened, paths you almost took, situations you nearly stepped into, decisions that were forming in your mind but somehow never fully materialized. At the time, you may not have thought much about these moments. You may have brushed them off as coincidence, indecision, or even missed opportunity. But now, you are being asked to look again, because within those almost moments lies evidence of something far greater, silent protection that was working on your behalf. Not every blessing arrives as something gained. Sometimes, the greatest blessings come as something avoided. A delay that kept you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A sudden change of plans that redirected you away from unseen complications. A feeling deep within that caused you to hesitate just long enough to prevent a choice that would have led to regret. These are not random occurrences. They are interventions, quiet, precise, and intentional. Archangel Michael had been present in these unseen moments, standing in places where you could not see, influencing outcomes that you could not control. His protection does not always announce itself. It does not always reveal its purpose immediately. Instead, it works in silence, adjusting circumstances, redirecting paths, and ensuring that you are guided away from what is not meant for you. Think about the times when something did not feel right, even though everything appeared fine on the surface. That subtle discomfort, that inner resistance, that quiet voice telling you to pause, that was not doubt. That was guidance. That was protection speaking to you in a way that bypassed logic and reached directly into your awareness. And when you listened, even if you did not fully understand why, you were being led away from something that was not aligned with your path. There were also moments when you did not listen, when you moved forward despite that inner signal. Even then, protection did not leave you. It adjusted around you. It minimized the impact. It redirected the outcome so that what could have been damaging became manageable. This is how deep and consistent that protection has been in your life. It has never stopped, even when you were unaware of it. What makes this realization so powerful is that it changes how you see your past. What once felt like missed chances now begins to look like guarded paths. What once felt like loss begins to reveal itself as preservation. And as this understanding settles within you, something else begins to grow. Trust. Not blind trust, but a grounded, steady knowing that you are not navigating this journey alone. As August 5th approaches, this protection becomes even more active. Not because you are in danger, but because you are approaching a moment of alignment that requires clarity and stability. Distractions may try to appear. Old patterns may attempt to resurface. Situations that once held your attention may try to pull you back. But with this heightened protection, you will begin to notice something different. You will see through these distractions more clearly. You will recognize what is worth your energy and what is not. You will feel a stronger sense of direction, a clearer understanding of what aligns with you. This is not something you have to force. It will come naturally, as a result of the protection that has been guiding you all along now becoming more visible to your awareness. Archangel Michael is not only shielding you from harm, he is also creating space. Space for clarity. Space for truth. Space for what is meant to enter your life without interference. And that space is essential for what is about to unfold next. There is also a deeper layer of peace that comes with recognizing this protection. A release from the need to control every outcome. A quiet confidence that even when things do not go as planned, there is a purpose behind it. This does not mean you stop making decisions or taking action. It means you move forward with a different mindset, one that is anchored in trust rather than fear. As you continue forward, carry this awareness with you. Remember that not every closed door was a rejection. Not every delay was an obstacle. And not every redirection was a mistake. Many of them were acts of protection, placed in your path by a force that sees beyond what you can see. And now, as this protection continues to guide you, it is preparing you for something that will require your attention, your presence, and your willingness to act when the moment arrives. There comes a moment when awareness alone is not enough, when understanding must turn into action. And this is that moment for you. Everything you have heard so far has been preparing you, not just to realize what has been happening, but to respond to it in a way that aligns you fully with what is now unfolding. Because timing is not only about when things happen, it is also about how you respond when the moment arrives. Right now, you are standing in a space between what was and what is about to be. It is a delicate space, one that requires intention, presence, and clarity. This is not a time to rush forward blindly, and it is not a time to retreat into hesitation. It is a time to become still, not inactive but deeply aware. Still enough to hear what is guiding you from within, and strong enough to follow it without doubt. The first thing you must do is pause and truly listen. Not to the noise around you, not to the opinions of others, but to the quiet voice within that hath been trying to guide you all along. That voice has become clearer now, stronger than before, because the distractions that once drowned it out are beginning to fade. This is your connection to alignment, and it will not lead you in confusion. There is also something else you must release in this moment: urgency driven by fear. You may feel the pressure to act quickly, to fix everything at once, to make up for what you believe was lost. But that kind of urgency is not aligned with divine timing. True alignment moves with precision, not panic. It knows when to move and when to wait, and it trusts that both are necessary. Archangel Michael is guiding you to act with intention, not reaction. This means that every step you take from this moment forward should come from clarity, not from emotional impulse. Before making any decision, ask yourself, does this feel aligned or does this feel forced? The answer will come to you, not as loud words, but as a quiet knowing. And that knowing is what you must trust. You are also being called to simplify your focus. Too many thoughts, too many options, too many distractions can pull you away from what truly matters. Bring your attention back to what feels clear, what feels right, what feels steady. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to take the next step that aligns with what you now understand. There's a reason why this moment requires your full presence, because what is about to unfold will not wait for indecision. It will not adjust itself to confusion. It will move forward, and you are being given the opportunity to move with it. This is not about perfection. It is about willingness, the willingness to trust, to listen, and to act when the moment calls you. You may also feel a strong urge to separate yourself from certain distractions during this time. This is not withdrawal, it is alignment. Creating space for yourself allows you to hear more clearly, to see more clearly, and to respond more clearly. Even small moments of stillness can make a difference. A few minutes of quiet reflection, a moment of deep awareness, can shift your entire perspective. Another important step is to release what you already know is no longer aligned. You do not need confirmation for what your spirit has already recognized. If something feels heavy, forced, or out of place, it is not meant to be carried forward. Letting go is not loss, it is preparation. It creates the space needed for what is meant to enter. Archangel Michael stands with you as you take these steps, offering not only protection, but also strength. Strength to trust yourself. Strength to move forward without needing constant reassurance. Strength to stand in your alignment even when others may not understand it. This is your moment to respond, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with quiet confidence. Because everything that has been aligned, everything that has been protected, everything that has been prepared is now waiting for you to meet it with awareness and action. And as you take that first step, you will begin to feel something shift within you, a sense of direction, a sense of clarity, a sense that you are finally moving in sync with the timing that was always meant for you. There is something even deeper beneath everything you have heard so far, something that cannot be understood just by listening once, but must be felt, recognized, and allowed to unfold within you. Because this message was never only about timing, delays, or even protection. It carries a hidden layer, one that connects every experience you have gone through into a single, powerful truth that is only now becoming visible. You have not just been going through random changes. You have been undergoing a transformation, one that required your old way of seeing things to be dismantled piece by piece. That is why confusion was allowed. That is why things did not make sense. Because clarity could not arrive until the illusions you once held began to fall away. This is the deeper message. You were not just being redirected externally. You were being awakened internally. Every delay forced you to reflect. Every disappointment forced you to question. Every moment of uncertainty pushed you to look beyond what was visible and begin trusting what you feel instead. This was not accidental. This was intentional. Because where you are being led requires a different version of you. A version that does not rely only on what is seen, but understands what is sensed, what is felt, and what is known without explanation. Archangel Michael has not only been protecting your path, he has been preparing your awareness, guiding you away from surface-level understanding and into something deeper, something more aligned with truth. And now, as everything begins to come together, you are starting to see that the message was never just outside of you. It has been forming within you all along. Think about how you see things now compared to before. You are more aware, more sensitive to energy, more able to recognize what feels right and what does not. Situations that once confused you now feel clearer. Patterns that once repeated are now being broken. This is not coincidence. This is growth. This is awakening. There is also a connection between your past, your present, and what is about to unfold next. What once felt like separate events are now revealing themselves as connected pieces of a larger design. That conversation that stayed in your mind. That decision that changed your direction. That moment that felt small but left a lasting impression. These were not isolated. They were markers, placed along your path to guide you toward this exact realization. And here is the truth that may change everything for you. Nothing you experienced was wasted. Not the time, not the energy, not even the pain. Every part of it carried a purpose even when you could not see it. And now, that purpose is beginning to reveal itself, not as something complicated, but as something clear and undeniable. As August 5th approaches, this deeper layer will continue to unfold. You will begin to notice how everything connects, how the past aligns with the present, how the confusion transforms into understanding. And in that moment, you will realize that you were never lost. You were being led, step by step, into this awareness. But there is also a responsibility that comes with this realization. Once you see clearly, you cannot return to what you once ignored. Once you understand, you cannot pretend not to know. This is the moment where awareness turns into transformation, and transformation begins to shape the direction of your future. Archangel Michael is standing with you as this deeper truth settles within you. Not forcing it, not overwhelming you, but guiding you gently into clarity. Allow it. Do not resist it. Because what you are realizing now is not just information. It is alignment. Type ISE with clarity in the comments if this message has reached you. Blessing code 864 has now been activated. And as this deeper truth settles into your spirit, understand this sacred invitation before you. When you respond to a message like this, you are not just receiving light. You are becoming part of how that light reaches others. The word says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." And right now, that promise is speaking directly into your moment. If your heart is stirring, this is your signal to act. Through your super thanks or your PayPal offering, which is placed in every video description and even available through the QR code on your screen, you are sowing into a flow that carries clarity to souls who are still searching in darkness. Say it within yourself, "I release my seed into divine purpose." Because this is not just giving, it is alignment, it is obedience, it is movement with divine timing itself. And as you give, may your life be opened, your path be cleared, and your blessings overflow beyond what you expected. Step into this moment now. Something has already started to change, and if you pause for a moment and truly observe, you will begin to notice it. It is not loud, it is not overwhelming, but it is present, subtle, steady, and undeniable. The shift that has been preparing itself through every delay, every redirection, every moment of confusion is no longer approaching. It has begun. You may feel it in small ways at first. A sense of calm where there was once tension. A clarity in your thoughts that replaces the noise you were used to. Situations that once felt complicated now appear simpler, as if the weight has been lifted without you fully understanding how. These are not coincidences. These are signs that alignment is taking place. There is also a shift happening in how things respond to you. Pay attention to this carefully. Opportunities may begin to show up differently. Conversations may carry new meaning. Even the timing of small events, messages, encounters, decisions may feel more precise than before. This is because you are no longer moving against the flow. You are beginning to move with it. Archangel Michael has been guiding this transition, ensuring that as your awareness changes, your external reality begins to reflect that change. This is not something that happens all at once. It unfolds gradually, allowing you to adjust, to recognize, and to fully step into what is being aligned for you. One of the most powerful signs of this shift is the way you begin to notice synchronicities. Moments that seem too perfectly timed to be random. Thoughts that are immediately followed by confirmation. Encounters that feel meaningful even if they are brief. These are signals that you are now in a space where alignment is active, where your path is beginning to reveal itself in real time. But there is something important you must remember. Awareness is what allows you to recognize these signs. Without awareness, they pass unnoticed. With awareness, they become guidance. This is why you are being called to stay present, to stay attentive, to stay connected to what is happening within and around you. There is also a shift happening within your emotional state. You may find that things that once triggered strong reactions no longer hold the same power over you. Situations that would have caused stress or confusion now feel manageable, even distant. This is not because those situations have changed, it is because you have. Your perspective has shifted, your awareness has expanded, and your connection to your path has strengthened. At the same time, you may feel a pull toward certain direction, certain ideas, certain actions that feel right without needing explanation. This is not impulse. This is alignment guiding you. When something feels clear and steady, without pressure or doubt, it is often a sign that you are moving in the right direction. As August 5th continues to approach, this shift will become more noticeable. What is subtle now will become clearer. What feels like a small change now will begin to shape larger outcomes. And you will start to see, in real time, how everything is connecting. There is also a sense of momentum that will begin to build. Not rushed, not chaotic, but steady and intentional. Things that once felt stuck will begin to move. Paths that once seemed blocked will begin to open. and what once required effort will begin to feel natural. Archangel Michael is ensuring that this shift remains protected, that it is not disrupted by distractions or pulled off course by misalignment. But your role in this is equally important. You must remain aware. You must trust what you are noticing. You must allow yourself to move with what is unfolding rather than resisting it out of habit or doubt. This is the beginning of something that has been prepared for you for a long time. It is not sudden, even if it feels that way. It is the result of everything coming together at the right moment. And as this shift continues to unfold around you, it is leading you toward a realization that will require you to make a choice, one that will determine how fully you step into what is now being aligned in your life. There is something you need to understand with complete honesty, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Timing is not just an opportunity, it is also a responsibility. When a moment of alignment presents itself, when clarity begins to rise, when everything starts to come together in a way that cannot be ignored, there is a choice that must be made. And that choice carries weight. Ignoring divine timing does not mean something terrible immediately happens. It is not about punishment. It is about consequence through delay. When a moment is missed, the alignment does not disappear forever, but it does move. It waits. And in that waiting, cycles can begin to repeat. You may have already experienced this before without fully realizing it. Situations that seemed different on the surface but carried the same pattern underneath. Opportunities that felt familiar, as if you had been there before. Emotions that returned in ways you thought you had already moved past. This is what happens when timing is not fully embraced. The lesson does not leave, it returns, sometimes in a different form, until it is understood and acted upon. This is why this moment matters so much. Because what is being presented to you now is not just another chance, it is a refined alignment, one that has been adjusted, protected, and prepared specifically for you. And while it is available, it will not remain open in the same way forever. Ignoring this does not mean you lose your path, but it can mean that the path becomes longer, that clarity takes more time to return, that what could have been simple becomes more complex. Not because you failed, but because the timing was not met with action. There is also an internal effect that happens when timing is ignored, a quiet sense of knowing that something was missed. Not always obvious, not always spoken, but felt. It can create doubt, hesitation, or even a feeling of being slightly out of sync. And over time, that feeling can grow if it is not addressed. But here is the truth that must be held with balance. This is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create awareness. You are not being threatened. You are being invited. Invited to recognize the moment you are in, to understand its importance, and to respond in a way that aligns you with what has already been prepared. Archangel Michael is not standing over you with judgment. He is standing beside you with guidance, offering clarity so that you do not have to repeat what you have already outgrown, offering protection so that you do not step back into what has already been removed from your path. There is also something empowering about this realization, because it means that your actions matter. Your awareness matters. Your willingness to respond matters. You are not being carried passively. You are being invited to participate actively in your own alignment. Think about it this way. Everything that has been done for you, the protection, the redirection, the preparation, has brought you to this point. But what happens next depends on how you meet it. Whether you move forward with clarity or step back into hesitation. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to see the entire path ahead. You only need to recognize what is being shown to you now and take the step that aligns with it. That is how timing is honored, not through perfection, but through presence and action. There is also a grace in this process. Even if you hesitate, even if you take a moment to process, the opportunity does not vanish instantly. But it does require your attention. It does require your willingness. And it does require your trust. As August 5th stands before you, it is not asking you to be ready in every way. It is asking you to be aware, to see what is being revealed, to feel what is being aligned, and to respond when the moment calls you. Because what is being offered is not something ordinary. It is a shift that has been carefully prepared, a movement that has been precisely timed, and a moment that, if embraced, can change the direction of everything that comes next. There is a moment approaching, one that cannot be forced, one that cannot be predicted with exact seconds or minutes, but one that is already moving closer to you with certainty. It is the moment when everything that once felt scattered suddenly comes together, not gradually, not partially, but in a way that feels complete. This is the moment when clarity arrives. You may think clarity comes slowly, piece by piece, over time. And sometimes it does. But there are also moments like this, moments where understanding settles all at once, like a quiet realization that fills every unanswered question without needing explanation. It does not shout. It does not overwhelm. It simply becomes known. This is the moment you are being led toward. It will not feel like something external happening to you. It will feel internal, deep, calm, and undeniable. A shift in how you see everything. Situations that once confused you will suddenly make sense. Decisions that once felt impossible will feel obvious. And the path that once seemed uncertain will feel clear, even if you can only see the next step. You will recognize this moment not by intensity, but by peace. A kind of stillness that replaces the noise you have been carrying. A sense that you no longer need to question what you already understand. This is how true clarity feels. It does not create more questions. It dissolves them. Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward this exact point. Every delay, every redirection, every moment of reflection had been leading to this realization. And when it arrives, you will see that nothing was wasted. Everything you experienced was part of preparing you to recognize this clarity when it comes. There is also something important you must remember about this moment. It cannot be rushed. The more you try to force understanding, the more distant it may feel. But when you allow yourself to remain present, to stay open, to trust the process unfolding around you, clarity finds its way to you naturally. You may notice that this moment comes when you least expect it. Perhaps in a quiet moment alone. Perhaps in the middle of something ordinary. Perhaps even while you are not actively searching for answers. That is because clarity does not arrive through effort alone. It arrives through alignment. And when it does, it changes something within you permanently. You will no longer feel pulled in multiple directions. You will no longer feel the need to seek constant reassurance. You will move with a sense of knowing, even if others do not fully understand it. This is the strength that comes from clarity. It anchors you. There is also a sense of release that comes with this moment. The weight of uncertainty lifts. The tension of not knowing fades. And in its place there is space for confidence, for movement, for progress. As August 5th draws closer, this moment becomes more accessible. The alignment that has been building is creating the conditions for this clarity to emerge. And when it does, it will not feel like something new. It will feel like something you have always known, finally coming into focus. Archangel Michael stands with you as this moment approaches, not rushing it, not delaying it, but ensuring that when it arrives, You are ready to receive it fully, ready to understand it, ready to act on it. There is no need to search endlessly for answers anymore. There is no need to chase what feels unclear. The clarity you have been seeking is already on its way to you, moving through the alignment that has been carefully prepared. All you need to do now is remain open, remain present, remain willing to receive what is about to become clear. Because when that moment arrives, you will know. Not because someone tells you, not because something forces you, but because within you, everything will finally make sense. Gentle soul, after everything you have heard, everything you have felt, and everything that has been quietly revealed within you, there is one final truth that now settles over your spirit like a calm, steady light. When you align with divine timing, peace follows. Not a temporary peace, not a fragile one, but a deep, rooted stillness that remains even when life continues to move around you. This is the peace that does not depend on everything being perfect. It does not require every question to be answered or every detail to be known. It comes from something deeper, from knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, moving exactly as you are meant to move, at the exact time it was always intended. Think about how far you have come, even within this message. From confusion to awareness, from questioning to understanding, from uncertainty to a quiet sense of direction. This is what alignment does. It does not rush you, it restores you. It brings you back into harmony with what was always meant for you, even when the path to get here felt unclear. Archangel Michael has walked beside you through every step of this journey, through the delays you did not understand, through the moments you almost gave up, through the silent protection that kept you from what was not meant for you. And now, as everything begins to settle into place, His presence remains, not as a force that pushes you, but as a strength that supports you. There is nothing more you need to chase, nothing more you need to force. What is meant for you will meet you in alignment, not in struggle. And as you continue forward, you will begin to notice how things flow differently, how decisions feel lighter, how your path feels clearer, even if it is still unfolding step by step. This is the gift of divine timing. It removes the weight of needing to control everything. It allows you to trust, not blindly but confidently, because now you have seen the evidence. You have felt the shift. You have recognized the patterns that were guiding you all along. And even if moments of doubt try to return, as they sometimes do, you will not be shaken in the same way, because something within you has changed. You have seen too much to go back to not understanding. You have felt too much to ignore what is real. As August 5th stands before you, it is no longer a mystery. It is a confirmation, a moment that carries meaning, not because of what it demands from you, but because of what it reveals within you. It shows you that timing is not something you fight against. It is something you align with. And in that alignment, you find peace. A peace that stays with you as you move forward. A peace that reminds you that you are guided, that you are protected, that you are not alone in any step you take. So take a breath now. Let everything settle. Let the clarity rest within you without forcing it. Let the understanding become part of you naturally. Because you are ready. Type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9901 is now released over your life. And now hear this, because this moment is not only about what you receive, it is about what you release into the world. The Lord speaks, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days," and this is your moment to act in faith. If this message has brought clarity into your life, then step forward as a vessel of that same light for others. through your super thanks or your PayPal offering, linked in every video description and available through the QR code before you. You are sowing into a divine river that carries truth to souls who are still waiting in confusion. Say it boldly within yourself. I am planting into God's timing. Let your giving become a prophetic act, a seed that opens doors not only for others, but for your own life. As you release, heaven responds. As you sow, blessings are activated. Step into this now, give, and move in alignment without delay.